What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this afternoon. So what we're going to be covering in this video is, again, another brief Ortex short interest and utilization update to get a better understanding of what we have going into next week. And going along with figuring out what we have for going into next week, we are also going to take a look at the option chain for not only this week going forward, but also that September 17th monthly options expiration date. There's been a lot of talk about potential gamma squeezes, and if we do see this price run up that a lot of people are expecting over the next couple of weeks, we are going to see a lot of buying volume come in from these institutions who need to hedge a lot of these options that they have sold. Now, in addition to this, we are also going to be talking about a partnership that AMC has just entered into, and just furthers my conviction in saying, well, the short thesis is done at the current time. The reason for shorting AMC doesn't really hold any ground anymore and hasn't for a long time. And we're going to go through this, kind of talk about why the financial media has not been reporting this, and just do a basic understanding of why this may be. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So again, AMC closed Friday at $41 even in the after hours trading period. We are setting up for a decent run up this week. We have seen 3 green weeks. We have seen a couple of green Fridays, and typically when we see a green Friday, we also see a green Monday. That is a trend that you can notice across the broad market. Now, when we come over to Ortex, we can see right here, utilization still relatively high at this 92.95%. We're going to be still taking a look at and diving into what this utilization means, especially over the next couple of weeks and months, because when we're looking at this short squeeze play that we have right now, if there are going to be forced share recalls issued, the utilization could end up giving us an understanding of when that could possibly occur, because when the utilization goes up, it means that there's barely any more shares that are able to go out on loan. And when I say that there's barely any shares to go out on loan, that means that the utilization would be at 98 to 100%. We've seen that happen a couple of times in the past when we look at this utilization chart leading in from April into May and June when we saw that last run up. And if we can see the utilization continuously increase, that could really lead the way for those forced buy-ins or forced share recalls that a lot of us are looking for. Now, when we're looking at the short interest right here, 17.17%, again, these are just Ortex's estimates, and they are to be treated as a baseline understanding of basically how much short interest is out in the market at the current time. What this is showing us is not only have the shorts not covered, but as you take a look at the previous numbers for exchange reported short interest since June, the shorts might have covered a little bit of their positions when we had that last run up, but that has not stopped other shorts or these same shorts from entering into even more short positions as we see this exchange reported short interest go up. So again, these shorts have not covered. Now, when we go into this analysis on the option chain, we can see that going into this next week, 24,000 calls in the money, 6,827 puts. So if we are going to see a little bit of that hedging from these institutions when the market opens on Monday, it would lean more towards the buying side. So that could potentially lead for a little bit of a boost in the price action going into Monday's trading day, but I don't think we're going to see anything crazy. Going through the rest of the week, though, we could potentially see a lot more of these contracts start to populate in terms of the open interest, which could provide for some volatile price moves. Now, when we come over and take a look at directly at AMC's option chain going into this week, there's not that crazy high of amount of open interest at any of these near to the money strikes. We do have a decent amount of contracts at this $50 strike, and as we go out even further, we do see a little bit more open interest, which is essentially the amount of contracts that people are holding at the current time. But this week isn't really the one that I'm really focused on. It's going to be the monthly options expiration date for September. We already see 18,000 or 19,000 contracts contracts at 45. We see 16,000 at 50. We see even more at 60. And we can see here that a lot of people are betting on an increase in the price movement of AMC going into that September monthly's options expiration date. Now, there is a crazy high amount of open interest at this $145 strike. And if in the event we do end up seeing a massive price run up like we saw in January and in June, and we were to get up to these $145 levels, we would have to see a lot of hedging from these institutions, buying a lot of shares, and this is going to cost them a lot more money than it did when they were hedging a lot of those options from that June run-up. Now, let's get into this partnership situation that AMC has recently entered into, and none of the financial media sources have been reporting this. This is the only article that I have really seen on this. Whip Media's platform is now powering AMC theaters on demand. So if you guys don't know at the current time, we've gone over this a couple of times in the past, but AMC has somewhat of a rent online, a streaming service that they offer. So if you do not have an AMC in your area, you can actually rent movies on this service that they offer and support the company. So we can see here Whip Media, the leading enterprise software platform and data provider to the world's largest entertainment organizations, announced today, August 25th. So this is a little bit of an old article that I'm surprised that not a lot of people have been spreading around. The largest theatrical exhibitor in the United States, in Europe, and the Middle East, and in the world is using Whip Media's industry-leading solution for its video-on-demand business. So this is really interesting right here. What this kind of ties into is the short thesis that, one, streaming is going to take over movie theaters. Now, when we listen to Adam Aron's basically comments in the most recent earnings call, he kind of laid out how streaming isn't really a direct competitor to them at the current time, and they've already entered into that agreement with Warner Brothers that starting in 2022, they will have exclusive access to their movies for a period before they get released to the theaters. Now, let's take a look a little bit deeper into Whip Media's platform. When we come over here, Whip Media's market-leading enterprise software platform centrally connects data, processes, and teams throughout the digital distribution journey. Powered by proprietary data and predictive insights, we enable the world's top entertainment organizations to efficiently distribute, control, and monetize their TV and movie content to drive revenue and direct-to-consumer growth. So what this is showing us is that AMC is taking steps in the right direction to get into the streaming market. So even if streaming was a really big problem for AMC at the current time, they are already working towards getting into this market. Now, when we come over here, let's take a look at some of Whip Media's clients: Paramount, Lionsgate, Viacom, Pluto, that's another streaming service. But when we come down a little bit further, HBO, Showtime, Stars. There are some really big names on this list that really suggest to me that at the current time, it is very, very strange that the shorts are continuously trying to short AMC. Their short thesis is done. It does not make any sense anymore. Now, AMC getting into the streaming market itself is not really, in my opinion, going to be a catalyst for the MOAS. I think this is going to take a lot of time in order for this to play out, but it really is a good sign that we are seeing AMC start to get into this market. We have been talking about this for a long time on this channel, that if AMC, and it was a cost-effective and efficient plan for them to do this, it would make sense for them to try to get into this streaming business. It looks like they are already starting to really ramp up this side of their business, and I'm really excited to see where this takes us. Now, if you guys have not seen AMC On Demand before, this is the platform right here. They have a bunch of movies that you guys can go rent if you would like to support the company if you don't have an AMC theater near you. Now, guys, in addition to this, we also have a lot of good catalysts coming up throughout the next week and month that we have for not only the broad market, but directly related to AMC. As we talked about yesterday, we have NSCC 005 coming into effect on September 3rd, which is going to increase the margin requirements, the initial required fund deposit from $10,000 to $250,000 for each member per account. This is going to put a lot of strain on the smaller institutions that are a part of the NSCC. And if you guys have been paying close attention to my videos in the past, we have started to talk more about the smaller institutions who are over leveraged on the short positions, because those are going to be the ones that are going to cover first and really set us off on the trajectory to get up to the prices where the really large institutions are going to need to cover these really, really substantial short positions. Now, in addition to this rule, we also have Phase 5 UMR coming out on Wednesday, September 1st, which is going to increase the volume of margin calls surrounding these OTC derivatives. So again, we have a lot of great catalysts coming forward. It makes me incredibly excited on what we have going into this next week and this next month for AMC. So that is going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I'm trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.